Hi Thumbelina. I am Dexter Lewis. So how are you doing today? I was thinking on explaining to you on social cognitive theory. So would you like to learn some important points on social cognitive theory?
Wonderful. Going over the social cognitive theory will help me more to become a great teacher in the future.
Social cognitive theory is an internal learning process in which the learner's behavior may or may not be changed by observing others, which is mentioned in the Ormrod text. There are different types of learners. The high-motivated learners aim high goals, which benefit them in taking challenges in life, whereas the low-motivated learners aim lower goals because they might have a bad experience in life. And this can become a major problem for the low-motivated learners as it can affect their whole life by putting themselves into some type of punishment of lacking independency and aiming lower goals in life. Therefore, educators, teachers, and parents must pay a very close attention to the low-motivated students and help them to be on track. But the behavior change also depends upon the learner's interest towards learning, because the behavior towards learning cannot be controlled by others except themselves. And this fact is also taken from the Ormrod text. Moreover, learning is also mutually influenced by one another, such as by their environment, people, and behavior, and this theory is called reciprocal causation, as mentioned in the Ormrod text. Remember, these three things: environment, people, and behavior play an important role in the learner's life to develop their social cognitive behavior. So, Thumbelina, is there anything you would like to share from the video, 4th grade, Canoga Park, which I taught in today's class?
Yes. In the video, 4th grade, Canoga Park, I have observed that the students were socializing with their peers, self-regulating with their desired behavior during the class discussion, and I think this is called collective self-efficacy, which I have learned in Chapter 10 in the Ormrod text. I also observed that the 4th graders were talking about what they understood about the text, which was based on the printing press. And the learners also related how their lives as indirectly depended on the printing press, because it helps easily in socializing with other people.
Wonderful. What an amazing example you brought up here. The students were applying collective self-efficacy, which means that the learners develop a higher level of social interaction and critical thinking while interacting with their classmates. Students were talking out and sharing their ideas with the class with high self-efficacy, and this made a better understanding for themselves, which I have also taught from the Ormrod text. So is there anything else you can explain, which you have seen in the video?
Yes, I have seen in the video that the learners were observing their own age groups and seeing their classmates as live and reinforced models. During the class interaction, the teacher praised the students because they were participating in class. But I don't know what this theory is called.
This theory is called vicarious reinforcement, which means that when learners look at their own age group as live models and being praised by their own teachers, then the other students want to participate as well in the class. And the other type of theory which was used here is called intrinsic motivation, that the teacher praised the learners and this brought a positive change in the classroom environment as well. But now, is there anything you want to change in the video, 4th grade, Canoga Park, which I showed in class?
Yes. The first thing which I would like to change in the video will be to rephrase the word pair and share, which the 4th grade teacher uses in his lecture. It would have been nice if the teacher had explained a little bit about what he wanted his students to do. If the students had more clarity about the phrase pair and share, then the 4th grade students could have successfully and effectively done the group discussion. So Professor Lewis, can you explain a little about what is meant by pair and share?
Certainly. Here the teacher had asked his students to apply peer mediation, which means that the students should get into their groups and talk out about what they have learned and understood from the text. This theory, peer mediation, was also applied in the video. If the teacher had explained in more clarity in the beginning of the lecture, then it would have been easier for the student to understand what the teacher wanted from them. So now, is there anything else you want to change in the 4th grade Canoga Park video?
Yes, it would have been better if the students were able to self-evaluate themselves in the class participation, instead of the teacher writing their performances. This would have made easier for the students to understand about how much they know about the text.
So, do you mean that the students should have been tracking and writing down notes about their performances in class? With the help of a checklist evaluation, everyone will get a chance to speak, and in this way no student will be left behind during the class activity. The checklist also helps the student to memorize about what has been taught in class. This is what I have also taught in class by referring the Ormrod text.
You have got me here, Professor Lewis. I have read this in the Ormrod text. So, overall social cognitive theory depends on the learner's environment, people and behavior. The students with high self-efficacy, self-confidence, and higher reinforcement achieve their goals and actively participate in class activities. And if students had low self-efficacy and low self-esteem, then they would have been isolated from the social interaction in the class environment. As a result, the low-motivated students would put themselves into some punishment, and this could also affect and hinder their achievement in the future.
You are absolutely correct, Thumbelina.
Therefore, I think educators, parents, and teachers should apply different methods of teaching. Students should use self-evaluation lists, make notes to themselves, and participate in different group activities during class. This is important because social interaction will not just help the learners change their learning behaviors, but also help them to develop their cognitive and metacognitive thinking processes. So, does this sound right to you, Professor?
Yes,